my God, this celebration has absolutely been amazing. Talk about here's to life. This is it, the Holiday Celebration Club. You've outdone yourself. Martha Lacroix, look at you holding it up. She's like, and here's to life. Martha, this is amazing. Please tell the viewer of Davi Davenport Live, what inspired you to do this? Suicide prevention, yes. How did you get involved?
Well, we're the Holiday Celebration Club that creates or endorses family-style activities during most major holidays. And we found that as the holidays occurred, that the suicide rate increases as you get closer to the holiday season. And Dr. Lauren Walton of the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention is the one who turned me on to that. And then I started really thinking about some of the disconnects that go on with some of the subjects that the Holiday Celebration Club wants to start to address, because we don't talk about suicide.
It's like it's just swept underneath the rug, and people say, oh, it could never happen in my family. It could never happen. No, it can.
Yes, and it does. And a lot of people don't talk about it. And for years, we have thought, well, Aunt so-and-so, she had a heart attack, something like that. But no, a lot of times it is suicide, and we didn't want to say anything. Now I am so glad that we are now bringing it to the forefront, because I just get a sense of relief from people saying, now I can talk about it. I had a grandmother at my church come up and say, my grandson committed suicide. But then a couple of weeks ago, she got in front of the congregation and said, my grandson committed suicide, and he was 12 years old.
Oh, dear God.
12 years old. I can't take this. I cannot take
That broke my heart just hearing you said her grandson, then you said 12 years old. Now, you just had the opportunity to meet the other half, and I call them the other half because they're these are the two ladies that put together this amazing event. These are the two ladies that took it upon themselves to want to advocate for suicide prevention. You got a chance to meet Martha Taylor Lacroix, and we just spoke about Cathy Seigel Garcia, amazing vocalist also, but this is the producer of this fantastic event with the Holiday Celebration Club. Here's to life. What's up, Cathy?
Hi, Davi. I'm so glad you're here.
I am having so much fun, and I'm so honored to be a part of this amazing event.
I'm so glad you were here. Yeah, with all your beautiful TV work and your PR work and anti-bullying and. Yeah.
And we're getting, Martha and I just confirmed, we're going to get the two of you on the show for the first Thursday of October to do a post follow-up of this. And I'm also going to get two guests who are going to come on. One that has tried to take her own life 10 times. Oh my gosh. But she said, I always reached out a couple times. And then also someone that's contemplated suicide many, many times. And so, yes.
Wow. It's amazing that you got people like that to come forward.
I got about 40 emails, people following up when they saw what was going on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you take this upon yourself? I know that you and Martha are very close because of, your friends and you're in the singing community and all that, but how is this dear to your heart?
Well, I have, like a lot of people, I have a lot of friends who either have closely been affected by suicide. I just spoke to one person who was actually her nephew killed himself, young nephew killed himself last year. And right after we spoke, a week ago, her neighbor ushered his wife and daughter out of the house and killed himself. I mean, this is it's more...
You said a week ago?
A week ago. This is much more common than we know people, but we don't think about it. Cancer, I think, is kind of very present in our lives because it lasts so long.
Remember when years ago when someone said cancer, we were, yeah. And it's like now you say cancer, you're like, oh my God, really? Because it's so common. Unfortunately, that's what's happening with suicide now.
Yeah, it's really a shame. It's so heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. And how do you reach out to people? The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention really has it together. And so I encourage everybody to go on their site and, yeah.
We talked about just a bit ago, we also had spoken about, Robin Williams and how no one ever thought, funny man and all that.
It's when I was 17, I took a stab at trying to kill myself. And I was thinking about it, and I thought about it, and I realized, I mean, this is no new news, but it was because I felt alone and I did not know who to reach out towards, and my life was not the way I wanted it to be, and the people around me were crazy. And I was actually, I don't think I really wanted to kill myself, but I wanted to do something dramatic to change something. And I think a lot of youngsters especially might feel the same way. I don't know if they really want to kill themselves and die. They want to do something dramatically different.
And they want to say to somebody, listen, I'm hurting. Pay attention to me. What's going on? Do you need information? Go to the holidayscelebrationclub.com, correct?
Yes, or the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Okay,
yes.
If you're out there right now, there are avenues for you. You do not have to take your own life. You may feel that you feel hopeless. You may feel that you don't know which way to turn. Before you do anything drastic, please reach out for help. Whatever you do, there are people like us that care about you, that love you, that want you to make it. That split decision that you make will cost you your life. When 9 times out of 9 times out of 9 times, if you just reach out to someone, things will be better just within that second. I guarantee you, there are many, many young people. You hear about 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old hanging themselves. I'm so excited. We're out at the Holiday Celebration Club event, Celebration of Life. This is something that's very dear to my heart. And Davi Davenport Live wanted to come out today because events like this are life-changing. Events like this have the opportunity to really impress upon people that are out there that might be contemplating suicide or thinking about just how maybe their lives aren't important enough. I wanted to introduce you to someone that's very, very dear to my heart, and that's Charlotte Crosley. And I love this woman. Not only is she an amazing vocalist, but she's just an inspiration to the world. Charlotte, what's up, girl? How are you?
God bless you. What's up? You know, we made it another day.
Yes.
We're here another day.
Yes.
And I'm very happy to be a part of this event because, you know, when people leave here in non-natural means, it's just horrible. It's heartbreaking. And so this is my way of giving back, but also processing a loss.
Yes, yes.
Processing a loss. My son's mentor took his life in the early part of July, and it was devastating to our whole community. He was a great artist, an incredible human being. His name is Norm Maxwell. I have a picture of him that I'll show you later.
This is very dear to your heart. So many people think, no, it could never happen to me. No, it would never happen to a family member of mine. But you just don't know. That's why we have to really pay close attention to our loved ones and even see the signs. Yes. A lot of times it's not something that's spoken, but it's a sign that someone gives you.
Exactly. And we didn't know. This man he had just completed a major installation of his art in Korea, and he was back home, and he was doing stuff and had incredible work, and he was a great mentor to my son and his band, and so he just hung himself.
Hey everybody, it's Davi Davenport with Davi Davenport Live. I'm out at the Holiday Celebration Club event, and this has been absolutely outstanding. Now, I've introduced you throughout this afternoon to some very, very fantastic performers. I've introduced you to some people that have discussed thinking that they've contemplated taking their very own lives, people that you would never think that they want to do that. And that's the topic exactly. Like, you don't know what someone is going through if we don't check in with one another. If you have a friend or a family member at home that is isolating, they don't take your phone calls, or they're just different, just pick up the phone and call them. Or you know what, better than that? And don't text. Things get lost in translation. We're in 2016. We're in a world of everything's texting. People break up, make up, get married, don't get married, divorce, and through texting. We lose things in that. There's no communication there. Now, I wanted to introduce you to 2 women that have actually taken this upon themselves to incorporate this within their very own lives so that they could assist people, families, cities, and a world of people that may be in pain. Ladies, I'm Davi Davenport, and I'm so honored to have you on board. I'm going to go from right to left. I'm going to go to my right and start out and introduce yourself to the viewer of Davi Davenport.
Okay. Hello, my name is Trouty Winters, and I'm the Greater Los Angeles Director for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and we're honored to be here today.
Awesome, awesome. Ann?
And I'm Fatima Cortez, and I'm the Executive Director for the Don Cornelius Foundation, and I am very honored to be part of this whole afternoon.
Wow. And I share openly that I've experienced depression before. And I share that with people because I have to. Because if you're out there right now and you're feeling depressed, then you may say, no, Davi, she's always bubbly. I want you to know that you're not alone. So rather than me holding the mic, I want you guys talk to the viewer of Davi Davenport Live about what you're doing with both of your programs to help prevent, and excuse me, get a little tongue-tied because it's an emotional topic, but what you both are doing to prevent suicide.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is the nation's leading nonprofit dedicated to suicide prevention and support for those who've lost someone. People who have lost someone are also at high risk for suicide. We do the largest funding of private research for suicide prevention because we're still learning a lot about suicide and why people attempt or die by suicide. One of the research studies we funded, they did autopsies on people who died by suicide, and they found a portion of their brain was abnormal or diseased, so it's a disease of the brain. We also have a wide variety of education and outreach programs. So we have a program, More Than Sad, for high schools. We have that in LA Unified School District, a program for high school students on teen depression and suicide prevention. We also educate parents as well as teachers and administrators on suicide prevention. We have our interactive screening program for colleges and universities, and it's in all 10 UC schools. And it's an anonymous online screening program to screen for suicidal ideation among college students. And then we have a wide variety of education programs, mental health education programs, living with bipolar being one of them. Talk Saves Lives is a new one that we can reach out to large audiences. It's an introduction to suicide prevention, teaching people what they can do and how to recognize someone in distress. So just like you said, talk saves lives. People need to reach out to each other, and they need to recognize and not be afraid to ask the questions. People think it's going to put it in someone's mind if you talk about it, but it's not.
It's already in their mind, it's in their heart. I mean, so many times we brush things underneath the rug. I talk to my son on a regular basis and ask him, how are you feeling? Are you okay? What's going on? He says, Mom, you're all in my face. I go, I'm going to be all in your face forever. Yes. And I want you to be all in mine also. Yes. I want us to pay attention to the signs of, is something different with mommy? Is something different with daddy? Is something different with my best friend? Is something different? Even a teacher. Because you could say to someone, I love you. I love you. You're so special to me. And that could change everything for them. So I'm going to pass it down to you as well.
Well, I got involved with the creation of the Don Cornelius Foundation as a result of being the friend for over 25 years with Tony Cornelius, as his father, Don Cornelius, died by suicide in 2012. And Stevie Wonder suggested to Tony that he start a foundation to honor his father's legacy and to know that there are other people out there, especially people of color, who don't seek mental health care, who don't have so many secrets. I mean, I come from a family of a lot of secrets, and I know a lot about child sexual abuse, domestic violence, things that people don't really want to talk about, and therefore they suffer in silence. And so the Don Cornelius Foundation seeks to provide funds to programs that are already doing the work to help those in transition, to help those who are survivors of lost loved ones. And the two organizations that we have given some support to are NAMI Urban LA, as well as New Directions for Veterans, because Don was a veteran, and it's a way of keeping things close. And we want to have an impact on the delivery of service and working to make it more culturally competent across the board. I mean, there's some great services out there, but sometimes people of color don't necessarily think that they're accessible to them for money reasons or for culture reasons, and that's where we want to have an impact.
But I can even remember coming up, like just certain signs of weakness, certain things like people say, oh, a man shouldn't cry, and things like that. Oh, no, Dad, that's a sign of weakness. No, it's not. A man's heart can be broken also. So you have a man that's here doesn't cry. He's bottling up all this, and then he takes his life. No wonder he's bottled this up in his life for years and years and years when he's got that same sensitivity. I'm from the inner city of Chicago, and my son went to one of the schools, and there was a young lady that was I'm a huge anti-bully. I'm huge into anti-bullying. That's a huge part of my television show. That's very big for me. Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's your girl, Davi Davenport. I'm back. We're out at the amazing suicide prevention event. You got a chance to meet Martha Taylor Lacroix, and you also got a chance to meet the fabulous Cathy Garcia Seigel, the two organizers of the event. Now, Martha Lacroix is the executive producer of the event, and Cathy is the producer of the event, and absolutely, and I get a little tongue-tied sometimes because this event has been so dear to my heart. There's so many amazing things that are going on. You just got a chance to meet the fabulous Wendy Barnes that sat on the red carpet. This is my red carpet today, guys, okay? Chi-Town sister in the house, and she spoke to you about, every genre being your genre. Don't pigeonhole yourself into anything. If you're out there right now and you're feeling like you're depressed, well, guess what? This interview is going to get you excited and fired up. So don't touch that dial. Bill A. Jones.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. What's going on? What brings you out today?
Well, I am co-hosting. Martha asked me, a couple of years ago, if I would be interested in participating in an event to raise funds for and awareness for suicide prevention. And excuse me. And so she credits me with being one of the first people to come aboard.
2 years ago?
About 2 years ago.
Because some people came on board today. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm very honored to be co-hosting. I'm emceeing a lot of the event outside in the heat. So I took my tie loose from the tuxedo for this reason.
Yeah, it was kind of melting out there a little bit. I'm like, okay, Martha, I'm melting.
But we have some tremendous talent, people who've donated their time and efforts to what is a very important cause. People don't realize that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. It's the 10th leading cause of death. In certain populations, it's sometimes the second leading cause of death. As a matter of fact, Martha found some statistics about African American children who are particularly at risk. There are other populations that are very much at risk as well. I emceed an event for a veteran organization called Not on Our Watch just a week or two ago. It's been documented that about 20 to 22 veterans kill themselves every day.
Wait a minute, Bill. 20 to 22. But 20 to 22, that's an alarming number.
Yeah, it's a tremendous number, and it sort of rings in your head. But you have to understand, over 1 million people last year attempted suicide in the United States, and about 43,000 or so were successful in killing themselves. And I always tell the story about a guy from the 1850s who suffered from what at the time they called melancholia, which now we know is depression. And this fellow had horrible fits of depression, but his friends were kind and they knew enough to keep sharp knives away from him when he was by himself. They knew enough that when he wanted to go out hunting, he didn't go out hunting alone. They went out hunting with him. Well, that man from the 1850s would later be elected our 16th president, and that was Abraham Lincoln.
You heard it right here on Davi Davenport Live. Now, this was a very inspiring interview. Bill, you're amazing, because to think, first of all, you could be out there right now. You could be the person that discovers the cure for cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. You might be the person to discover the cure for cancer. I, too, and I spoke about it in a couple of the other interviews, I've experienced depression before. When my mother died, I felt like, you know what do I have to live for? And I had, at that time, an 8-year-old child who now is 19 years old. So it's like, but I felt like that's how much I loved her. I felt like and I didn't realize I was depressed until I wasn't anymore. And that's what's crazy. I didn't even know, because I was going through the motions of a life and had no idea until one day I looked up and I saw the sky was blue and didn't know that I had noticed it before. And I was always a happy-go-lucky girl. So I was like, wait a minute. I was depressed. And then my family said, we could tell you were, but no one ever said anything to me.
That's something that we have to change in our society. We have to change the fact that most people think of suicide or the subject of suicide as taboo. If someone in your family commits suicide, well, we don't talk about Aunt Martha. We don't, and this is something that has to change. We have to be out front about this. Excuse me. We have to be out front about this so that we can change the dynamics, so that we can do something different. And if anyone is watching and is thinking about it, you can always call 911, but there are some other 800 numbers that you can reach out to. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is manned 24 hours a day. There are a couple of numbers I can give you. 1-800-SUICIDE. Another is 800-273-TALK. That's 273-TALK. And those websites, if you go to the AFSP.org, which is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, you'll find links to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline and a wealth of information for you to learn the warning signs and for other information that you can use on a daily basis.
Thanks so much, Bill. You've been amazing today. You heard it right there. Those are the numbers. If you're out there right now, remember, nothing is worth taking your life. There's just nothing. Make that call, because that second that could change your life in one direction or the other, you know what? I guarantee you, if you make the call, you will feel better. I can guarantee you that for that exact moment, you'll talk to someone and you'll get help. I guarantee you that. That's all it takes, is reaching out. You say, how can I guarantee you that? Because we've all had a moment where we felt hopeless. And then you talk to someone, make that call to the professional hotline. What was that suicide hotline number again?
There's a couple of numbers for you. 1-800-SUICIDE, and the other one is 800-273-TALK. I believe that's right.
Whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're tuning into Davi Davenport Live. We're here at the Holiday Celebration Club's event. Here's to life. Here's to your life. And guess what? You are very, very special. See you guys later. Bye. You know an interview is going to be fun when you started out by talking about which side is your best side. I'm sitting here with one of the mega singers, amazing vocalist, and just a great and becoming a very dear friend of mine, Wendy Barnes. We started cracking up talking about which side's the best side. That left side's your best side too, isn't it, Wendy?
Girl, you know what? Look, all your sides are good. So that's all I got to say. All the sides.
She knew exactly what to say. Oh, yes. Tell the truth, baby. Hello. I'll take it. I receive it. Yes. So what brought you out today? Holiday Celebration Club, anti-suicide. What brings you out?
I got a call. I was asked to come out here to participate in this segment called The Divas, to have a segment, a workshop to teach a song. And I decided to teach a song called Free to Be Me because I thought it was appropriate. And I love the lyrics. And it's a song that I wrote, No More Crying, because I'm free.
It's a song that you wrote?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Because I know what life is for. I'm free. Don't you know I'm free? Thank God I am free. You know I'm free, free to be me. No more holding back or holding out. I'm going to stand. I'm going to shout it out. I'm going to lift my feet right off the ground. I'm going to spread God's love all over town. Yeah.
See, you know what? When Martha was here sitting and interviewing with me, she said, we need more music that's inspirational. Yes. We've got, when we were coming up, everything, I mean, girl, I was thinking about the Isleys and the Commodores, talking about love making and the Supremes and all. I was like, that's what we were raised with.
We loved each other. And then somewhere along the line, money came into play. And people started doing it for the love of money, not for the love of each other. And that's when we lost it.
Those lyrics are very powerful. Very, very powerful. So the divas will be performing this today?
We did it. We just finished the stage out there. We just finished in the background singers. I brought them all boas to wear. It was lovely. And they sang the song because I taught it earlier, and then they performed it.
You taught it today?
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
God.
earlier today. Each of us, Charlo, myself, Franny, and Pam Trotter. Yeah. So it was really fun. It was the first time I ever taught a workshop like that. But now we're talking about doing some more of that and kind of taking that on the road.
Awesome. You know, things like that and opportunities for even people that aren't like professional vocalists, but aspiring vocalists, or maybe people that haven't gotten as far in the industry as you guys have gotten, to be able to participate in something like that could be life-changing for them.
And it has been, because a number of the ladies came to me and said that, you know, it's such a passion and this was so much fun. And then I had shared my story, because until I got on the stage, I didn't really know what my affiliation with any of this was, you know, suicide. Well, I didn't think about it. And then when I got on the stage, I said, I have to share something with you that I forgot about. And at the age of 12, I tried to take my own life. I took a whole bottle of pills because I was raised in a family of 9, and they didn't seem to love me as a kid, because I think it had to do with the fact that I was the only one singing in such a large family, and nobody really understood why I was singing all the time. And
It was a gift, and you had to express it.
like, you know, kind of like a little hateration or something like that.
They ain't like me because I was special.
I mean, they didn't, you know, and I'm not all my sisters and brothers. Some of them love me and still love me, but there was a few that caused a lot of trouble, and and I thought it was the only way out was to just leave. And I was only 12, but I had kind of forgotten that until I got up on the stage, and so I shared that story, that I thought my dad was the only one who really loved me out of the whole family. And this lady came up to me and she said, "Thank you for sharing it." I was in tears because she had tried to take her own life when she had her twins. And she said, just hearing you tell that story just made her cry, and it made her feel freer, and it just did something to her. And I was like, I didn't even remember that until I just said, oh. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's events like this, or sometimes you'll see a movie or someone will say something. It's also, depression is one of the things that people don't really discuss. And I was a part of something recently, and I said, you know what? Actually, when my mother passed, I didn't realize, and at the same time, the real estate market took a tank, and I lost my money, I lost my mother. During a conversation with someone, I said, you know what? I was depressed.
That's how I felt when I came out of the hospital when I was 12. I remember when I came home, everything looked so green. The trees were so green. The sky was so blue. So I think you do see the world differently after an experience like that, because I remember that. I remember coming home going, I never noticed and it was weird. Yes. But I think your life is changed by everything. Every experience changes your life. And so my goal is to have every experience be something that's life-changing, that's for the better. I love the Lord, He heard my cry. You know.
Jesus. I like this interview. I'm having fun.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just think that, I go walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just saying I love you, and I go into my country.
Girl.
And so I just tell, students learn everything. Now, when I was growing up in Chicago, they told me, well, we can't.
I'm a Chi-Town girl also.
And they say, we can't figure out how